Good day, friends. This is Casey with Aligned Astrology. Today we're talking about the new moon occurring in the sign of Pisces on March 18th. Now, this new moon is the last new moon before we move into Aries season. With this new moon occurring on March 18th, we have it 2 days before the spring equinox as the sun enters into the sign of Aries. There's a couple of different things we're going to touch on today in regards to this special occurrence. There's never any coincidences when it comes to astrology and these planetary bodies expressing themselves in the zodiacal wheel. So we need to be mindful of the dispositor of this new moon, which is a Jupiter. Jupiter just stationed direct on the late evening of March 10th, moving into March 11th, depending on what time zone you live in. But as Jupiter has stationed to go direct in the sign of Cancer, this is a very positive omen for this new moon. So we have this new moon in Pisces at 28 degrees, and it's in a whole sign trine aspect to the Jupiter at 15 degrees. We have a number of different planets in the sign of Pisces. Mercury, which is retrograde, but will be stationing direct on March 20th, the day of the spring equinox. And we have Mars in the sign of Pisces right now. Mars is actually in a trine aspect to this planet Jupiter in Cancer right now. So that's very interesting. We'll talk a little bit about how that is beneficial to us. Since we have Mars in the sign of Pisces, Mars doesn't take on its natural characteristics of action, drive, aggression, anger, strife, cutting, war, and things of those natures, but it takes on more of a Piscean characteristic. We know Pisces to be the dreamer, the emotional water sign that it is. But it's important to note that when Mars enters into the sign of Pisces, we still take action. We just take action in a different way. And as we take action, it starts out as an idea and it begins to unfold in our experience. When we think about Pisces as a sign of intuition as well, we can see that this Mars is a very intuitive Mars. We just begin to understand the directions we need to move in, and as we begin to walk that path, the path begins to reveal itself. So it is going to be beneficial for us to understand what can be coming in for this new moon in the sign of Pisces for us. With Jupiter in that trine aspect to Mars, it can show us that maybe our actions are related to the support of others. Maybe we're doing these things, whatever it may be, depending on our rising sign. Maybe we're getting a new job, or we're moving into a deeper career endeavor so that way we can make more money to support our families. Maybe we're inspired to take on a new creative project to support our peers and coworkers. The possibilities can be endless when it comes to what form of support we are choosing to take action for in order to benefit these people around us. But when we have the planet Mars in a trine aspect, a supportive aspect to the planet Jupiter, and once again trines, when we think about the aspect of a trine, it carries the energy of Jupiter. So they're expansive, they bring abundance and growth. So whatever this new moon is bringing into our experience, whatever new beginnings it will show us, they can be very positive, even lucrative things that we choose to embark on. We also need to speak about Mercury, which is currently retrograde, but it is also in a conjunction with the North Node in the sign of Pisces. And as you may know, we have just concluded our eclipse season with this new moon here in Pisces. And those were the two final, I guess we could say, total eclipses in the signs of Pisces and Virgo, because later on in the year we're going to experience another eclipse in the sign of Virgo, which will be an annular eclipse, meaning the node of the moon will have moved out of Virgo into the sign of Leo, and we'll still begin to experience that eclipse in that way. We can think about it as the tying up of loose ends, or truly completing and checking every box or dotting every I that Virgo energy wants to take care of before we finalize and move into these next eclipses over that 18-month cycle, when we begin to experience the nodes in the signs of Leo and Aquarius. But with the planet Mercury in conjunction with the North Node, there is something of communicative nature that is going to show itself to us. Maybe we're connecting with a new teacher, a guru, or we're having a deep, intimate conversation with a partner that's going to help us to realize what we need to do, what actions we need to take. Because remember, with a new moon, these things may not necessarily show themselves like a full moon or a Mars-Uranus conjunction, a tremendous experience that's in your face. This is more of a soft opening of a new beginning, something that slowly unfolds. So with the North Node here in conjunction with a retrograde Mercury preparing to station direct, think about it like a conversation or an idea or even an intuition that comes up in our experience that maybe lights that fire under us and shows us what direction maybe this Mars that will soon move into the sign of Aries and conjoin Saturn and Neptune in the sign of Aries and guide us in that direction, because we do have that Saturn-Neptune conjunction in the sign of Aries. Venus is there right now, and it has just left Pisces. There's so many different things going on in the sky that we could take into consideration with this new moon. Let's take a moment and pull up a chart so we can look at these planets and speak about anything that I may have missed. So on March 18th, with that new moon, once again we have Mars at 12 degrees in a trine aspect to Jupiter, the dispositor of this new moon. It's going to be very positive for us to connect with our families or our teachers, our support systems, because these people are going to help us to pave the way into that new experience that's being created. Relationships are the most important thing in our life experience. Without them, what will be the true point of our existence? We need one another, and sometimes those very relationships can help us to see who we are and who we need to be. These people are our mirrors. So with Jupiter in the sign of Cancer, that sign of family, the sign of nurture and support, it's important to notice that our support system is going to be beneficial at this point in time. We also have Uranus at 28 degrees. It's going to move into the sign of Gemini at the end of April, but it is also in a sextile aspect to the new moon that will meet at 28 degrees in Pisces. Sextiles carry the energy of Venus, which is a positive and supporting energy. So whatever comes up in our experience over these next 2 weeks has potential to turn us to walk into a new direction, or a direction that we've been thinking about moving in for a while now, and it just might feel like it's time to take that step. And there's no rush when we think about the energy of Pisces. It is a go with the flow sort of energy. So with this Mars here, things will start to show themselves, and we begin to take the steps. We begin to take the action. It's not like that Mars and Aries energy where we just go, do, and act, which will be coming soon. But right now, we get an opportunity to take that soft, slow opening where we listen first and then act second. Speaking once more about the North Node in a conjunction with Mercury, there can be the faded conversation, the faded insight, or even a dream that comes to us that gives us clarity on the new direction that we should be taking with this new moon. So it's a good time to take a moment for ourselves to sit and be still and listen, because the action is going to come from the inside. And then when we have the awareness of the action, we connect with the people that support the action, we can make the necessary movements in order to find the success or the happiness that lies at the end of the steps that we should take. We can think about Uranus as the one who flips the table over. That's what I like to say. Uranus flips the table over and knocks the food, everything all over the place. And now we have to pick the table up and we have to start anew. We can't put things back exactly as they were. We have to do something different now. So as Uranus is in its final degrees in the sign of Taurus, before it moves into Gemini, we can ask ourselves, what structures do I need to put in place before I create my new connections, before I begin to understand those around me deeply, before I begin to work with my support groups. With this new moon in the sign of Pisces, we have an opportunity to grow in our relationships and to grow in our love. And it all starts with our intuition, our insight. Let this new moon be a soft opening in our experience. Please remember to like the video and subscribe. It helps the channel to grow so that way other people can see my video just like you. If you'd like to leave a comment about anything, feel free. Remember, this is Aligned Astrology. I'm Casey. Until the next time.